What's up guys, it's Klex here, and today I'm going to be teaching you 10 settings that you can use in Cold War to improve instantly. So first off, for the audio sound, get rid of music, get rid of everything you really don't need. This way it will help you hear footsteps better, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to go ahead and check out what my audio settings are exactly. You want to go ahead and set music volume down to 0, dialogue volume down to 0 as well, and cinematics volume. And another thing, the best preset that most of the pros are using to better hear footstep sounds is Treyarch Mix. You can go ahead and try it, what works for you, but the majority of pros use Treyarch Mix, and I use it as well, and I think it definitely made hearing footsteps a lot better for me. Now, the next setting I'm going to recommend to really improve your reaction time and aiming in time as well is flipping the triggers. So you want to flip from the regular one, the default, where you go ahead and use the trigger kind of thing right here, into using the button. You can see the one I'm using, right? These kind of on the side. It really does help out your reaction time, and I definitely recommend it if you're using a PS4 controller. Now, the aim response curve type, you definitely want to go on dynamic. It's just better all around. A bunch of people are recommending it ever since I switched to it from Modern Warfare last year. I obviously went the same way this year with Cold War, and I wouldn't turn back. If you aren't using dynamic, definitely use it. It improves your aim by a ton. Big one, guys. If you haven't already disabled vibration, do so now. I know it really makes you feel more into the game, makes you feel like you're actually there and all that kind of stuff, but it really does affect the aim. You can't argue against it. The freaking controller's vibrating while you're shooting the whole time. It's definitely going to throw off your aim with your right thumb. So if you haven't already, turn it off. There's even pros like SCUF controllers, and they don't even have the rumble packs in. So yeah. Now onto something called the dead zone, right stick minimum input threshold. It really is like this, right? So I have no problem currently because I set the dead zone perfectly right for my controller. So basically, if I had it wrong, the middle of my screen, that little dot you see, it would be moving ever so slightly to the left when I'm not even touching my right control stick, right? So what I did is because since I've had this PS4 controller for a very long time, I know it's an old one, so I chose 5 on the right stick minimum input threshold. If you have a newer one, I'd recommend 3 because, well, it's new. It's not going to really be sliding over to the right. Basically, use 3 on the right stick minimum threshold if you have a new controller. If you have an older controller, choose 5. Now on to moving into the graphics type thing. This works for everybody though. I'm talking about the aim down sight field view. You want to put affected if you're an SMG player. If you're an AR player, you want to choose independent. If you're either one of those, let's say you're a flex player, whatever you mainly start off a map with, I would go with that chosen setting. So yeah, I've researched multiple videos. This is kind of a collection of all these videos I've watched from pro players, and the SMG guys choose affected, the AR players use independent. All that really affects is how you zoom in to the gun, like the field of view that's in your sights, right? It's going to make it so that when you aim in, you're going to have a much better time with that particular sight. Now back to the controller settings. Auto sprint I have enabled. Keep in mind that the CDL pros and maybe the top amateurs don't really allow it, but you can use it in 8s, scrims, league play, unless the team you're playing with or against really doesn't want you to use auto sprint. Man, but this setting really helps you get out of some sticky situations fast because obviously you're able to sprint a ton faster. Now on to some PC stuff. I'm sorry guys, but I could not find 10 tips entirely just for console. But man, these 2 PC settings are going to help you out a lot. And if you are on console and you're planning to play on a high level, I really do think you should be saving up for a PC because that's going to put you on the same playing field. So what we're going to do first is, if you haven't already, go to NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency, and that's what you want. You want as much as low response time as possible to increase your game, because Call of Duty is a game of just milliseconds sometimes. So you want the best response time you can get. Bring that up to enabled, boosted. It's going to help your latency by a ton. And now on to something that is linked in the description, and I highly recommend it. If you're a PC player, this is going to increase your game by a ton. Link to Nameless's video on how to get no input lag on your controller. If you got a PS4 controller, pretty much any kind, honestly, he's going to be able to really get that situated for you. I had a noticeable difference when I used it. Man, it lowered my latency by a ton on my controller, and I boosted my game as well. Very easy to do on PC. He runs by it step by step. And by the way, if you guys don't know, Nameless is of course a analyst in CDL, but he was also a former pro. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Those are 10 tips that are going to instantly improve your game. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and leave a like. This will help more people. That way it will push the video out to their recommendations, and it will overall make the Call of Duty competitive community better, and hopefully make the teammates you play with better as well. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more videos like this. If you haven't, also join the Discord. Down in the description below, we've got like 60 people now there, so yeah, a lot of people looking for 8s, scrims, teammates, league play, people to play with. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching as always. It's been Klex, and I'm out. Peace.